In 2014, the Gaza war broke out, if you remember Operation Protective Edge. All of the soldiers were anxious and secretly terrified while tasked to search for terror tunnels, sophisticated air-conditioned tunnels that traveled deep beneath the earth and that led from Arab villages outside of Israel, exiting into cornfields within the borders of Israel, all carefully designed to exact the most horrifying methods of dread. Yamach Shemam v'zichram. The war prevented the lion's share of soldiers from praying, as they were constantly on the move. At one point, this particular battalion chanced upon a small cottage in a highly strategic spot. Some of the men decided to enter, search for threats, and recoup some of their energy. After 2 days of intense fighting, the group found it safe. They piled up on the floor and they began to doze off. Just as they were about to fall asleep, Oren heard someone announce, "Ba'u nitpalel tefilat Arvit." Come, we have to pray Arvit. Several of the men groaned. Who had the strength to stand up now and pray? They were totally drained and without energy. But then again, when was the last time that they truly needed God Almighty like they do now? The group gathered their last ounces of energy and rose up from the floor just to realize they were only 9 men. Now, opposite the cottage was a group of Golani sharpshooters, snipers, 2 of whom were stationed on the roof to protect these soldiers inside. The 2 men who had initiated this minyan, Ilan and Oren, decided to cross the field to the Golani brigade and invite one of the soldiers to be Asiri, the 10th. On the way out, the other soldiers wished the men good luck, as generally the Golani soldiers were raised on modern kibbutzim and unlikely candidates to join a minyan. Yet, the 2 fully believed that in wartime, there are no atheists in a foxhole. Once they reached the brigade, one of the Golani soldiers said he'd be happy to join, but he needed to use the restroom first. Yet after 3 minutes, he still hadn't come out. So one of the other soldiers put his ear to the door and heard strange noises. Without waiting a moment, he broke down the door and was astounded to find this enormous hole behind the door leading directly into a terror tunnel. When the inauspicious soldier had entered the bathroom, 2 terrorists that were hiding in the tunnel burst out and abducted him. Without hesitation, he called for reinforcements from the brigade and jumped into the tunnel himself. And within minutes, the terrorists were eliminated and their friend was saved. Imagine what would have happened, Ilan said to Oren, had we given in after a grueling day of fighting and prayed alone, or even just simply crashed. I'll make it up in the morning. These terrorists would have entered the house through the tunnel once we were fast asleep and slaughtered us all. Imagine if the Golani soldier had refused to join the minyan. He would have ultimately gone to the bathroom, as he did, but no one would have noticed how long he was gone. He would have certainly been kidnapped and used as a bargaining chip to release likely hundreds of Arab terrorists. Oren said to Ilan, "Do you know what saved that soldier from the kibbutz? His decision to join the minyan." Ilan quipped back to Oren, "And do you know what saved our entire battalion from guaranteed and certain death? Our decision to pray Arvit with the minyan." Gentlemen, we have our own daily battles, don't we? You know the feeling. We travel for business. We get home late. We crawl into bed. We get under the covers up to our neck. And right when we're about to doze off, you get that pit in your stomach. Did I pray? And you realize you didn't. Whether it's raining or snowing outside, you know it's the moment of truth. And it's the separation of the men from the boys. Pesach is coming. You're in Barbados, Cancun, Orlando. And you make a quick calculation. You know, Chabad is 25 minutes away. Does the halacha really require me to drive there for a minyan? I could have more kavanah from my balcony, in my room, marabu masecha, looking at the beach. Gentlemen, are we the Oren and Ilan of our own lives? Did you know that you can go to Shomrei Shabbat Shul on the corner of 53rd and 13th Avenue in Borough Park and pray with the minyan every 15 minutes until 3 a.m. for Arvit? Ladies, if you're looking for celestial diamonds, motivate your man, regardless of the time, notwithstanding the location, as generally the hefty choices are often the most rewarding. Shabbat Shalom.